I've been getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, and some of the most heartfelt conversations over the last 2 days over the tragedy of the two loved ones that I can talk about, Sylvester Ofori and the late Barbara Ofori. I want to first offer my condolences to the family. I didn't get a chance to know the family, but I do want to say to Barbara's family that I am sympathizing and empathizing with you at this moment. I am extremely distraught at the actions that my brother Sylvester has committed. I want to go ahead and start off this conversation, and if you will, you can share this. This video is in no wise to try to justify. This video is in no wise to try to bash. This video is in no wise to bring division. This video is to bring a clarity to the air. There is so much distress, so much shock, so much disbelief, so much trauma. Ladies and gentlemen, I know firsthand what trauma feels like. And so this is coming from a sincere place of understanding how tragedy, the only way to transmute the energy of tragedy is to never allow yourself to get past the place of concern into the place of consummation. Many people don't know the difference between being concerned and consumed. I want to talk just a little bit about the background of our relationship. I met Sylvester Ofori and his beautiful late wife back in 2019 at the end of the year. Sylvester had, of course, many other circles that we affiliated with because of our past of both being ministers, former ministers. I'm saying hello to everyone. I don't want to stop this, particularly say hello to anyone and leave everybody else out. But I want to say hello to everyone and thank you guys so much for coming on here to hear me out. I know there's a lot of other people that are kind of just pressing the speaker button to hear me without coming on, and I'm fine with that. But guys, I just want you guys to hear my heart. I met Sylvester and his late wife in 2019 at the end of the year, around the time where I too was going through a transition from fundamental Christianity into an expanded consciousness. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to tell you that is one of the most difficult things to do, is to transition and yet feel alone. Because when most people are calling an individual that is transitioning into expanded consciousness, when they call you crazy, they are justified to call you crazy, because what they're saying to you is the knowledge that you're operating from is strange and it is abnormal from what I know myself. And what this means is that they can call you crazy, but you can't call them crazy. You can't call them crazy because what they know and what you know, it's not that you're better than them, but you might know what they know and some. And so therefore, that's why we use the terminology expanded. Does not mean that we are bigger or better. Does not mean that consciousness is to say that one is better than anyone. But consciousness is going to be the expansion of not just mind, but also heart. And I would talk about that at a later part. But I met these two in 2019, and there have been many questions from people that are asking me, how long did I know them? There are many rumors that are out. And guys, please allow me to just talk this out. Give me a few moments. It won't be long because this is not my story to tell. What I do want to, however, let you all know is that any other voice that's letting you know that I knew Sylvester or that I knew Barbara past these times, I did know of them, but I did not get into full relationship with them up until late 2019. This is important because when I met them then, I discerned a lot of things that was going on, but there was not enough truth being told from, external parties and all over the place. There was not enough truth being told to me. So I did not have enough information to provide proper counseling, proper coaching, or any of the fact. But however, I do want to also say on another standpoint that there is no way to control another person's action. This is important. The reason why I'm saying this is because I'm noticing that on the internet, there's a lot of insults towards the title, the prophet. They're mocking certain titles. And I do want to say this from the bottom of my heart, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me very carefully. I have had some conversations with both Barbara and Sylvester prior to Barbara's death and prior to Sylvester losing himself in that way. I had conversations with these two, eating at restaurants with them, while after ministering. Now, mind you guys, I did not know them before that. And so right in between, there comes a pandemic. And in between this pandemic, I lose the ability to communicate with them as much. I also lose the ability to commute back and forth to the Orlando congregation that Sylvester shared with me that he did not know how to articulate the transition that he was experiencing in his mind. Now, this is important. Guys, titles are making matters worse. We have family, both Sylvester and Barbara's family are mourning. I want you to know that just as much as I love Barbara, I love Sylvester. In fact, I could remember speaking at their congregation, speaking up on misogyny, speaking up on women being abused and women not having a voice and women being choked out, being suppressed and oppressed. I can see Lady Barbara. I could see her saying amen, throwing her fist at me, trying to give me a high five. And for the last few days, I've had to deal with the plethora of emotions, the scaling of losing my bro and his purpose, and also losing this wonderful jewel who both of them had claimed to enter into expanded consciousness. Now, that's very important because I've noticed that there's been a lot of titles, and all of these titles, that they're giving, be very careful because Sylvester and both Barbara were denouncing these titles. They were in the process of saying that they no longer wanted to be affiliated with these titles simply because of the trauma that they were experiencing even as leaders. Okay, now I don't have to give you guys all of the backdrop because obviously there is a pending investigation that is going on and there's a lot of things that I am not at leisure to discuss. But what I will say is that using these titles are not making anything better, whether a person was a president, whether a person was a pastor, whether a person was a janitor, whether a person was whatever you are. There is never any justification in taking someone else's life. With that being said, we cannot blame consciousness. We cannot blame faith. We cannot blame a community. We cannot blame an affiliation. We can't even blame family members. The only thing that we can do is begin to evaluate in our lives. Evaluate in our own lives. What in this circumstance looks familiar to my life? As I looked at the video that everyone I'm sure has been watching, and I'm not going to make mention to where that video is, but there is a video resurfacing and people are playing this video all over the world of the fight that went on. We don't know the details. We don't have no idea what went on in that home We have no idea whatsoever. And so because we don't know the full details of what went on, of course, there was some abuse. Of course, there was some disagreement. Of course, there was a fight. We saw all of that. But I need you all to stop the rumors and give the family that's affected time to deal with this tragedy. Gossip makes it worse. It doesn't matter who did it. The crime itself, the tragedy itself stands alone. It does not need any further gossiping. There was a point where I heard that they said that he even committed suicide. We got to stop the gossiping. The long game of telephone is causing pain for this church, for these members, these congregants that are confused at what happened here. And many people are blaming consciousness. They're saying that he went into devil worship, going into all of these things. Ladies and gentlemen, I would dare not say those things, because no one takes Christianity and says when one pastor molests or one pastor robs the church, or one pastor is asking for the church to buy him a jet, or one pastor denounces prosperity gospel after preaching it for 100 years. Listen to me, what I'm saying to you guys. You can never take one man's fault and blame an entire society. You cannot take one man's mistake and blame an entire environment. Because believe it or not, in order for someone to receive help from anybody, there must be integrity and sharing the whole truth. Without the whole truth, no one will be able to help the way that we would like to help. Guys, I want to say this. My brother, Sylvester, committed a heinous crime. I have to say this openly because it saddens my heart. It breaks my heart. It took me 2 days to recover myself. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep well. They're blaming me. There's videos of me speaking at this congregation. And again, I was just invited to come and help articulate, they're blaming me for going there and sharing. And I want to say I will never apologize for my presentation. I will never apologize for loving Sylvester and loving Barbara and loving Floodgates of Heaven and loving that congregation enough to come in there and sacrifice myself again, my name again, my integrity again, to simply say to that environment, I love y'all and I want you guys to continue your journey. Do not let go of your journey. Guys, listen to me. If you're going to be a Christian, you remain a Christian. If you're going to be conscious, be conscious. But hear what I'm saying to you. Don't allow the spinning of this trauma don't let the dizziness take you out. Don't let the dizziness take you out. Don't let it take you out. Listen to me. I want to say this. I want to say this to you. Thank you so much, Keith Adkins. Thank you so much. I want to say this. My brother Sylvester did a lot of, and I'm going to give two main points. And I want to say this, and I'm going to let this go. I didn't know what to say when I heard the news. I didn't know whether I was shattered, whether I was found lost. I had no idea. What I want to say today is not in a way to defend myself. But what I want to say is enough is enough. Enough is enough of looking for a place to place the blame on folk. Guys, enough is enough. If you're hurting, speak out. Enough is enough. We've got to stop hiding mental health is a real issue. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, that this journey is not easy. It's not an easy journey. It's not an easy journey. And I'm going to be honest, many people come into consciousness to expand their mind. But please hear me out, y'all. Sometimes the cancer in me, I'm very sensitive sometimes. But I want y'all to know, please don't come into trying to expand your mind without expanding your heart. Knowledge and research will expand your mind, but only the practice of spirituality will expand your heart. The truth of the matter is, my brother did not. He may have expanded his mind, but he did not do the spiritual work behind the knowledge, behind the research. I know that's hard to hear. But my first point is expanding and I told you I'm going to drop these 2 nuggets and I got to go, because when I start crying, I don't want folk to be like, man. Here's number 1, expanding your mind through research means nothing if you don't practice in order to expand your heart. Your heart. Your heart is what people want to see. The intention. We all make mistakes. We all have had moments where we wanted to snap. We all have had inner voices that were speaking to us that were not good voices, not voices that resonate with our purpose, voices that were trying to rob us of our destiny, voices that are trying to get us delayed. But I have a word for you today, guys. I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, never expand your mind without expanding your heart. You've got to keep loving people. You got to remain compassionate. We can never lose compassion. Compassion is not what you feel when you do something for someone. That's an ego. Compassion is what you feel when you do what's necessary. We need to see the fruit of the expanding of your mind. And the only way to do that is to practice spirituality. We can't control anyone's action. People are saying that I was the best man. I was not even at the wedding. I want you all to know we got to stop. And this video today, I want you all to share it. I want you to share it. Please share this video. Please share this video. Point number 2, and I'm done. You cannot love someone more than they love themselves. Now, if that didn't hit you hard, if that didn't do anything for you, it should resonate with you so much right now. I, again, want to wish my sincere and deepest condolences to Barbara's family. From my heart to yours, I love and mourn with you. There is a GoFundMe that is linked, for Barbara. Please find that GoFundMe if you can. Give to that family. give to them. It is a very, very sad thing that has happened. But I will say this, that I am a man that stands for two things that gives me balance. I will always stand for love. And it was love that allowed me to love both Sylvester and Barbara up into her last breath. I mean, I love both of them. And I could remember talking to some of my brothers and mentioning how beautiful Barbara was, mentioning how intelligent, how conscious Barbara was. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to say that to the family, thank you for sharing Barbara. Thank you for sharing her experience and her life with Floodgates. Thank you for sharing it with, with everyone at that ministry. Thank you for sharing it. Barbara, I want to thank you. I want to thank you even in your astral realm. I want to thank you. Thank you for your life. Thank you for your sacrifices. Thank you for being that woman. Thank you. But I also want to thank you as well for taking this soul contract of yours, living your purpose out. And at this point, I want to say to all, don't lose your hope. Don't lose your purpose. You can be concerned, but don't allow yourself to be consumed. Guys, thank you for hearing my heart. Thank you for listening to me today. I am going to be deleting this page over the weekend. I'm asking that those of you that would love to stay connected to me, feel free. I am going to have a page up. It's going to be a picture of a black hat of mine and a black and gold shirt. So if you see any other pages that resemble a different picture, that will not be my page. I am deleting this page because I want to come off of the religious mountain. I have done my assignment. I have done my assignment in the Lord's church. I've done my assignment in the religious scene. But now it's time for me to take my rest. It's time for me to go on the journey. It's time for me to continue with what I'm called to do, which is to reach out to all of those individuals that are still trying to transition. I am also, it's okay if you still want to speak to me again over the weekend. You can inbox me and I'll do my best to respond to all of you. So I am reading those comments. It's fine. Over the weekend, I'm going to be very, very active on my page as I make this transition to my new page. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying that I will never, ever connect with churches. That is not my scene. My scene is not to bash churches. I want to say that again. In times past, I've said a lot of things based off of my knowledge. To hurt people. And I have to realize that, you can't go into a classroom that's on addition and try to give them multiplication. You can't go into a classroom that is learning vowel sounds and try to have them read whole on sentences. And it's imperative that people understand that. And so it is never my assignment to bruise anyone, to offend anyone. My assignment is always to bring an understanding and a comprehensive wisdom to where we can unite universally and see the common things that bring us together rather than the things that tear us apart. I want to say rest in peace, sleep in peace, beautiful Queen Barbara. And I also want to say to my brother Sylvester, I hope and pray that you have the time that you need to think about what you've done and also for you to get better mentally. I say namaste to all of Floodgates. I say namaste to all of the families that were affected by this. I say namaste to all of you that from the outside looking in who have been affected by this. I say namaste to all of you. I say blessings. I say hotep. I say to you, please align yourself and don't allow this moment to pass you without it being a time of reflection and a time where you yourself take the moment to, expose some of the very things in you that may be troublesome to your mental health. And ladies and gentlemen, don't you dare lose your hope and your way. And I want you to continue your journey. Continue your journey. I'm here for any of Floodgates. I'm here for any of the family that has been affected. You guys can share this video. Those of you that have some of the contacts of the people that I need to speak to, you can share it now. I just needed a few days to get myself together. I have talked to many people internationally, have spoke to artists, I've spoke to people in places that I can't even imagine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the journey thickens here, because while people are taking this as a moment to bash me, the universe is also using this moment, this very moment, so that I can help defend this catalytic change that the universe is experiencing right now. I say to all, Source bless you, Source keep you. And I really hope that Source continues to walk with you as you walk with oneness in Source, and know that you are as it is. You are as it is. And I know that everything is going to work. Everything is going to work for good in your life. If you continue to believe that, set your affections in your heart on your future. Set your dial tone of your trajectory on your future. And don't you dare lose hope because of what's going on right now. Transmutate this tragedy into a place of reflection. And as you reflect, I want you to take this time to love on your loved ones, to love on those that you disagreed on. Maybe pick up a phone and call all your family and just tell them I love you. Some of you got some very, very deep, dark things that you have not dealt with. Let's deal with them so that we don't bubble over and create chaotic experiments in the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, namaste, blessings, grace and peace. Whatever makes you comfortable, I want you to know, do it expanding your mind as well as your heart. I love you. Take care.